Should you get an associate's degree, a bachelor's degree, a master's degree, or a doctoral or PhD degree? Which one's the best for you? How do you know which one to choose? That's exactly what we're going to talk about in today's video.
Hi, I'm Ryan Swayt, and I used to be a two-time college dropout, making just $12 an hour. Then I learned how to hack college and earned an entire bachelor's degree in 9 months flat. Subscribe to my channel, and I'll show you how.
All right, so before I show you exactly which degree you should get, I do want to clarify that I am speaking from my experience as a degree hacker, okay? Somebody who has tested out of all their college classes and extremely accelerated my college degree, okay? So this is not the sit in a classroom for 8 years discussion, whether you should sit in a classroom for 2 years or 8 years. I'm coming from a perspective where I've learned how to graduate college way faster, and it doesn't take as long. It's a lot easier than reading textbooks and sitting in classrooms and things like that. So with that perspective in mind, the first thing I want to say is associate's degrees, in my opinion, are pretty much worthless, and I'll tell you why. Now, I will clarify, Kate. Associate's degrees are the purpose of an associate's degree is to take somebody who didn't get into a good bachelor's program or someone that didn't have good grades in high school and give them more training after high school. And it's almost like a gateway into a bachelor's degree. Now, the problem with associate's degrees, the reason that I, in my opinion, feel like they're worthless is because it's a new day, it's a new age, okay? You don't have to go to school for 4 years to get a bachelor's degree, right? You can test out of your classes and earn a bachelor's degree in months instead of years, okay? Now, for most associate's degrees, you can't do this. You can't go test out of all your classes. You literally are going to sit in a classroom for 2 years, right? So why in the world would you go spend 2 years getting a 2-year degree when you can get a 4-year bachelor's degree in a matter of months, right? So the first thing I want to say is if you're thinking about getting an associate's degree, skip it, throw that out, and go straight into getting a bachelor's degree using a different approach, testing out of your classes, okay? If you don't know how to do that, at the end of the video, I'll show you exactly where to learn how for free. But associate's degree, just skip the associate's degrees. Jump straight into the bachelor's degree, okay? Now, the next thing I want to say, bachelor's or master's degree, which should you get, okay? We've been taught our whole lives like a master's is better than a bachelor's and a doctoral is better than a master's, right? So the longer you go to school, the better your degree is. And if you get a better degree, you get a better job, right? Well, that's actually not always the case. There are tons and tons of people in the country that are overeducated. And what that means is that they've gone to school for longer than they needed to go to school for. So when you're thinking about, should I get a bachelor's degree or a master's degree, the first thing you need to decide is, what do I want to do for a living? What is my career? Okay. And whatever field you're trying to get into, ask yourself, okay, is a master's degree going to help me get better jobs? Okay. And it depends on the field, because a lot of fields, a bachelor's degree opens the door for you. You get the job and then you go get promotions in whatever companies you're working for, and you can have a fantastic career. And whether you have a bachelor's or a master's doesn't really make that big of a difference. But there are also fields where if you have a master's degree, when you get hired making more money, right? And you get promotions sooner and you get into leadership positions more easily. So the number one thing you need to do is you need to kind of write out a career map, okay? Decide what you want to do for a living and figure out which degree you need to open the doors you want opened, okay? So if that career you want, if you can reach your goals and make the income you're wanting to make, more easily with a master's degree, then go get the master's degree as well. Okay. Now, doctoral degrees, or to go get your PhD. Okay. A PhD, if you go to school for 8 years, what happens is the most common programs, you get that PhD next to your name, which means you're like a doctor of studies, basically. So it's pretty cool and it's prestigious and all that, right? But again, what is the reason you're going to get that PhD? Is it really going to help your career? Because there are tons and tons and tons of jobs that, whether you have a master's degree or a PhD, it's not going to make any difference. The PhD is just the cherry on top that doesn't really make that big of a difference. Okay. If you can get into your dream career without the doctoral degree, then why not? Right. Now, a big mistake a lot of people make is there are actually two sides of this. Okay. Some people will go get their bachelor's degree and they'll be so sick of school and they'll be like, okay, I'm done. When if they just went a little bit longer, they would have had a better career. Okay. And then there's another side of people that they go to school and they just want to keep going and get more and more and more. And it's almost like this prestige thing. Like they're proving to the world that they're smart, right? Which there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with having credentials. But a lot of times people go through that process, get the highest credentials, and then they go get a job that they could have gotten with a bachelor's degree. But they went to school for 4 extra years and they took out tons of student loans and they end up just in mounds of debt because they wanted more credentials, but they literally end up in the same job they would have had if they just got their bachelor's degree only. Okay. So the number one key here is to map out your career in your mind, and you need to study out and learn exactly what that career takes to get into and to be successful in, okay? And then you know exactly which degree you need for that career. Now, a few minutes ago, I discussed how I have a completely different perspective than a lot of people, because a vast majority of people, they spend 4 to 6 years working on their bachelor's degree. And then they spend 2 to 3 more years on their master's degree. And then they spend 2 to 3 more years on their PhD, right? Well, that's not me, okay? I dropped out of college twice because I literally didn't have time to work and support my family and take care of kids and basically be a dad and a student and working all at the same time. I just couldn't do it. So instead of sitting in a classroom, I literally went and I tested out of all of my classes, okay? And I ended up getting my bachelor's degree in 9 months. And it was like a little side job, okay? I spent 15 to 20 hours a week just studying for tests and casually taking tests. And 9 months later, I had a bachelor's degree. The cool thing is the degree looks exactly the same as anyone else's degree that sat in the classroom for 4 to 6 years. It's the same degree, but I took a completely different approach, okay? So now, from that perspective, when you're comparing a bachelor's degree and a master's degree, for all those people that think, I got my bachelor's degree, I'm done. I know my career could be better with a master's degree, but I can't do 2 more years of school. Well, that's not a problem anymore, because there are other approaches to getting your college degree, right? So I've seen people go get their bachelor's degrees in 4 years, then take the degree hacking approach or test out of their classes, and they get their master's degree in an additional 3 to 6 months instead of years, okay? If this is on the table, let's say you have a bachelor's degree and you're watching this video, if a master's degree will really benefit your career, you can go get that master's degree in months instead of years, which is really, really cool. I will say that most doctorate programs, so if you want your PhD, most doctorate programs don't allow you to just go test out of all your classes. That's a kind of old school. It's a little more traditional. So for bachelor's and master's degrees, you can use degree hacking and graduate way, way faster, okay? For doctoral degrees, If you're going to go get a PhD, make sure that it's an actual need in your career, okay? If it is a need in your career, go do it. If you have no career need for it, then don't do it unless you're doing it on the side for fun or something while you're working your career, okay? So if you would like to earn a bachelor's or a master's degree and like the opportunity to do it in months instead of years, I'm going to leave a link down below the video with a free training, okay? And that training is, I literally walk you through the step-by-step process that I followed to test out of all my classes and graduate in months instead of years. Like I said, it's free, and you can take that knowledge and go apply it for yourself and hopefully graduate even faster than I did. I hope this video has helped. Click that link below if you want to learn more, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. I will talk to you in the next video.